Hi guys. So this morning I had another OB appointment, and before the appointment the doctor called me yesterday, after I went to the hospital that one night in the last vlog, and she called and she said, okay, the baby is doing fine. I mean, he's moving enough and there's enough blood flow going to him from the placenta. Everything seems to be fine. But the dates don't line up. Like, the baby's measuring small for being 36 weeks. So he's measuring at 34 weeks when I'm 36. And that puts him in the 8th percentile. And whenever the percentage goes lower than 10 is when they consider a pregnancy to be high risk. And so she said that I would have to get 2 NSTs done a week and to keep going to get ultrasounds and using the Doppler to check the blood flow and whatever. So that made me very stressed because we don't have family around to just watch our kids whenever I need to go. I always take my kids to the appointments, but for an NST I have to kind of sit still and not have to like chase anybody around. And so I was worried that I would have to hire a babysitter and how much money that was gonna be and how much money all these appointments are gonna be. And so anyway, I decided to do my research, and it wasn't much research, but I took out last year's calendar. Good thing, well, it's not last year's, this calendar has last year's and this year's, so good thing. But I brought this out and I looked at all the dates of when like my last cycle was and ovulation day and all of those things, and I started putting the dates around, and I noticed that if we went off of my ovulation date, that the baby would probably be measuring fine, just fine. And so I brought it out to her, and this is the calendar. My last menstrual cycle was September 9th, and that's my little signal for it. And so that's what we were going off of, because I didn't get an early ultrasound to set a due date like most pregnancies do. We were just in the middle of moving, and I didn't get to see a doctor that early in the pregnancy. And so anyway, so here's the 9th. This week went by. In a regular cycle, I'm supposed to ovulate 2 weeks after. No ovulation until this day. And that's how I marked it. I don't know why, but that's how I marked it. And so that's when we tried. And so that was a Monday. That's when we tried. And then we went like a week and 3 days right here. This is when I took the first pregnancy test, and it came out negative. And I have all of this on video too. So here's the video for that. It was negative, and of course it was only a week and 3 days after, so it was just too soon. But I knew I was pregnant, and so 3 days later, on the 14th of October, I tested again, and it was positive. And it was a super, super faint line, but it was positive. And then, like a week and a half, let's see, this is the 14th. A week went by, and then on a Wednesday, I took one again, and that's when it showed a solid second line showing positive. So okay, so I have all these dates, right? And I showed it to the doctor this morning, and she goes, okay, so she took all the dates and she put them on the computer, and she goes, this makes a lot of sense. And the reason why she was believing me is because this first pregnancy test that we took showed negative. If we were really going off of my period, my last period, that would have definitely showed positive, but it didn't. And then I told her that this was a super faint line, the second pregnancy test. And so it just sounds like, I mean, these are early pregnancy tests after just having ovulated that day. So it makes sense that it would be very faint right here, because it was only not even 2 weeks after ovulation. So she believed my my dates, and she goes, okay, so, and I said, I'm bringing this up because I don't think all these NSTs and ultrasounds are necessary. I just think that we got the dates wrong, and that's why the baby's measuring small. I know this clip is getting very long, but I'm trying to hurry. And so she said, okay, so I'm going to enter all of these dates and line it up with all of your ultrasounds and everything, and then we'll see what the percentage of the baby is with those dates. Because if, like I said, right now the baby's measuring at 8th percentile, and that's very, very small. And so if she lines it up with my ovulation date or with my conception date, then maybe the baby will be measuring over 10th percentile, where it's not considered high risk. So this morning I was just so stressed because she was talking about inducing me at 39 weeks, and of course 39 weeks with my original due date was just a little too early, I thought, because I always go over. I know I always go over, and I know that because I ovulate late. So anyway, so she's gonna let me know tomorrow. I'm still gonna go in and do an NST because she feels comfortable with me going, just in case these dates don't work. But she goes, I believe what you're telling me, and so I think I might change that. So my due date might change to July 26th, which I'm not happy about being pregnant any longer. Because I'm so miserable, and because I don't have any more clothes. You guys always see me wearing this. And anyway, so, but it just relaxes me a little more, and I'm not so like, I just want my body to be ready. Even if she does want to induce me earlier with that new due date, it's still, my body will still be a little more prepared for labor than it was when she was trying to induce me. So anyway, that's what's going on. I hope it all made sense. I'm so glad that I brought it up. I'm so glad that I recorded everything for this purpose. And you might think, like, why did you just bring that up now? But now is when the pregnancy became high risk. And so I said, okay, I need to look that up. And I'm so glad I wrote down when I was ovulating. And I know I have before. Even when we weren't trying, I'm like, okay, I'm ovulating this day, so, you know, stay away. And so anyway, so that's what's going on, and I hope the doctor will call me tomorrow and be like, okay, you don't have to do all those ultrasounds, you don't have to do all those NSTs, and we'll change your due date to this day, and blah blah blah. We'll see. So I will have an answer by the next vlog for you guys, but for now, that's what's going on. And it makes me hopeful that they're treating my pregnancy a little bit better for the sake of the baby's health, because we don't have a NICU here. So if it was just too early, the baby might have had to go to a NICU, and there's no NICU here. So anyway, that's all I have for now. It's been a busy day. We had that doctor's appointment, and Cameron was traveling today, right? Yeah. And we had the missionaries for dinner, and they stayed long enough for us to realize that it was like 8 o'clock already, and the kids were still hanging out. We're like, what? Yeah, we did it. We did baths in 15 minutes. All 3 kids. They're in bed now, and anyway, I like, the schedule is still going on. I still have to do a service at the church in like 15 minutes.
I thought that was at 7:30.
No, you're talking about something else. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's going on 7:30.
Next week. But anyway, so thank you for watching. I know this vlog was kind of boring because it was just me talking about the pregnancy, but I'm just so glad that that the doctor was hearing me out on this, and because I thought it was a lost cause. I thought, why am I even bringing this up? She's not going to even consider this, but she did, and so I'm grateful for that. And so tomorrow is when I find out if she is going to move my due date, if we're going to cancel all those appointments that we had with ultrasounds and NSTs. So anyway, so I'll let you guys know later. Thank you for all the comments that I've gotten about like how we got rear-ended and stuff like that. I'm very happy that it was just that, and that we weren't hurt. So
It was just crazy because I had just gotten home from being gone all week.
yeah.
And then Vivian stopped me before we walked out of the airport, and she told me.
I had to, because he was going to look at the van. I mean, he was going to open the back hatch to put his luggage in. So that's when I had to. But anyway, I know that's from a long time ago. I'll put that vlog right here. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully have good news for you next time. Bye.
Bye.